is encircled by China. It is a national global security issue for China, for India, and you don't seem to worry about that at all.
Okay, Dr. Ranganathan, we are not worried about the larger strategic security implications, but the point is that the government hasn't said anything to alienate Maldives. It is the public sentiment. The private individuals Dr. Jha is talking about are as Indian, as leaders of Team India.
Oh,
really? They are entitled to express themselves.
Really?
No,
Dr. Ranganathan.
Precisely.
They have all spoken in tandem at the same time of their own volition. You think all these actors and cricketers are speaking of their own
Sanjay,
volition?
I didn't interrupt you.
How ridiculous
I did not
is
interrupt
this?
you. Yeah, thank you. Pranesh, a couple of points here. Number one, yes, it is dangerous if China is encircling us, as Sanjay says. So what should we do? We should perhaps sign an MOU with the Chinese Communist Party. No, but the fact of the matter is, first of all, I think it is deeply patronizing. Now, you know, this constant interruption is someone coming from someone who says, don't interrupt me. Sanjay, please don't do that. Thank you.
All right.
Now, it is deeply patronizing for Sanjay to label someone as, iconic as Amitabh Bachchan, Sachin Tendulkar, and other people as cattle ready to be whacked by the government. I mean, I'm shocked by the kind of language that has been used. Do they not have independent mind? Can they not feel that they need to tweet in support of an Indian territory and make it a tourist destination? Every time this happens, you are patronizing them and saying they don't have a mind of their own, that they're cattle ready to be whacked. Amitabh Bachchan, the icon of, for the last 50, 60 years, is now bending down, knee crawling, ready to be whipped by Narendra Modi on his command to tweet whatever he wants to be tweeted. That's ridiculous and very patronizing. And I'm offended by that. Not just Amitabh Bachchan, but Sachin Tendulkar and other icons of our country as well. Number two, Pranesh, you already said it, so I don't need to. I'll just take 10 seconds. Where has the Indian government or Narendra Modi disparaged or brought down Maldives? They haven't even mentioned it. Even now, 24 hours later, the government of India has not even said a word against Maldives. So to bring Indian government in, no. The fact of the matter is Sanjay advocating groupthink? That Indians should think the way others think or in groups? I would like to
That's a good point. That's a good point. Let's bring in Suhail Seth. Suhail Seth, you heard Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, 1 minute, sir. Suhail wants to come in. Suhail wants to come in.
After that.
Okay, I'll bring you in after that. Tessin, let me bring in Suhail. Suhail Seth, you heard Sanjay Jha. You heard Dr. Ranganathan. What is your take on this kind of commentary that we've seen from India bloc leaders? The silent on Modi bashing, that's okay. But when leaders from other countries are ridiculing India, saying things, what do you make of it?
That is tragic. I've said this before, Pranesh, on your program, on Navika's program on Times Now, repeatedly. You may have an issue with Narendra Modi, the man, but today he occupies the high office of Prime Minister of India. When you knock him and you abuse the office of the Prime Minister of India, in many ways you insult the so-called democracy that you keep talking about. It's all right for these politicians to say, oh, India's democracy is under threat, but you people are threatening it. Every day you're taking pot shots at some constitutional office or the other. On one day, it'll be the vice president's office. On the other, it'll be the president's office. If you remember the comment that Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary passed, now it's the prime minister repeatedly. This nonsense has to stop. Plus, we are not seeking nationalism. It's an old saying, patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. So please don't, try and be more patriotic. No one is asking you. This is an issue of reviving the civilizational legacy, the charm, the beauty of India, the country. We should all be proud of it. By taking potshots at the Prime Minister, who are you actually insulting? You're insulting the people of India. You're insulting our civilizational legacy that you keep talking about is under threat. You're insulting everything that's beautiful about India, only to score ridiculous brownie points against a man.
Right, let's put that to Sanjay Jha. He wanted to come in. Tessin, then I'll give you the last word on the show. Sanjay Jha. Now, when celebrities, prominent Indians, Dr. Ranganathan named some of those. It's a long list. I don't want to get into names. All they are saying in their tweets is explore Indian island. What is wrong with that?
Okay, Pranesh, a very short answer since my friend Suhail mentioned civilizational legacy. I want to remind everybody, and particularly those celebrities on your screen. Where were you, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, Mr. Sachin Tendulkar, Mr. John Abraham? I think I saw Ranveer Singh. I saw Virender Sehwag. Where were you when Manipur burned? Where were you when hundreds died and thousands were displaced? Where were you? Why were you so quiet? Why do you only emerge when there is something which the government needs to buttress or the sub-government needs to save its embarrassment from? And this is, I can tell you why, because I have grown up admiring these guys. And to see them become puppets in the hands of a government is a tragic comedy situation. God bless them and God give their conscience some rest.
No, Suhail said is also promoting Lakshadweep. So is Tehseen. Are they also puppets? I mean, what has this come to, Sanjay Jha? I mean, come on. Tehseen, do you agree with what he's saying?
Look, let me just say something that Sohail said and take that a little further and add to something that Dr. Ranganathan said. Dr. Ranganathan rightly said, where did the Honorable Prime Minister attack Maldives? He's right. The Prime Minister did not. Then, Pranesh, may I ask you, why is your questioning, yours and not you personally, the media's questioning, that why is the opposition not attacking Maldives? Well, the Prime Minister didn't attack Maldives and the opposition hasn't. What we're talking about, and this is where I want to, again, I need this for your viewers to hear this. This entire issue with the Maldives.
I'm interrupting you only to correct the narrative. I don't know what the rest of the media is doing, Tehseen. All that I intended to ask was the larger question: why go after people who are expressing their sentiment? That's all.
That's true, but I completely concede to that, and I think that that's great. But is our interest, India's interest in Maldives, not important? Whether economical, whether our people's interest. Number two, look, 3 years ago when this issue started, this is how this government's come into power. And I give Prime Minister Modi a lot of credit for what it's done with the Middle East, with the Global South. When this issue started over the internet, when the Indian Raw Agency went down, we looking at the internet, we suspected China was looking at the internet. That's the whole history about this. What did your raw test do? Didn't you realize that the other side was winning it? Look, you have to ask these tough questions. If you keep making these mistakes time and again, we have our regional aspirations.
Okay, 20 seconds, Dr. Ranganathan, then we'll have to take a break because Navita Kumar has tough questions to ask of Mr. Devendra Fadnavis on the other side. 30 seconds, Dr. Ranganathan.
No, I just wanted to point out the selectivity when somebody was saying that where was Amitabh Bachchan or Sachin Tendulkar about Manipur. So Sachin Tendulkar and Amitabh Bachchan haven't also tweeted about the Congress MLA that has been suspended on allegations of sexual misconduct against young children. Does that mean that Sachin Tendulkar and Amitabh Bachchan are also vassals or subservient to the Congress party? ये कैसा logic है भाई?
I haven't tweeted on Bilkis Banu either.
Yeah, now
Bilkis Banu either. Don't try and
Sanjay Jha, then many will ask why didn't Rahul Gandhi have Bharat Jodo? No, last year. Why didn't he have it in 2020? I mean, this is endless.